Good evening. Welcome to Contest of Speed EU2 race 10 at Imola. Before we jump out to standings, let's quickly check substitutions for tonight. So Crypto White is reserving for Red Bull. STLR is replacing Ricky. Alpine, Kevin Kahl is replacing Pookie on McLaren. Charlie is replacing Rosa Sky and Ferrari, and Nisula is reserving for the Haas. Uh, Quick checkup for standings. Jack Hauke is leading with 120 points. Jelt Heldorn with 95 points on P2. Alistar 90 points, completing the podium. Konzo 59 points. PvP Pookie with 51. Mati Robo 36. Same score. J-Ray on 7th. Fabu with 33. Rosa Sky 26. Cornish Kak 23. Almanac 19. Cornish Mantus 18. And apologies for interrupting, for switching the team, but it's raining and it's really heavy. But continuing, on P12, Ricky with 16 points, MMFC Raid with 14 points, and Boria with 12 points. Quick jump to team standings. Red Bull is leading the pack with 148, Alfa Romeo on second place with 129, Mercedes really close to them with 127, Williams 100 points, Ferrari and McLaren with 65 points both, Alpha Tauri with 55, Haas 46, Aston Martin 42, Alpine closing the pack with 35 points. And tonight with me is young man Great Ape. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm not sure why I see on the screen Q1. Probably it's visual bug for me, but heavy, wet during quali. Did you expect this?
I mean, I'm not sure about EU4 and EU3, but AM3 and AM2, uh, quali was both dry in both of those, so I kind of did expect some rain in quali. It's bound to happen.
I can tell you that both EU4 and EU3 was totally clean, no single drop during the race. We are driving with Jelf Heldon, who was first brave man to jump out onto the track on his outlap. That changes a lot, that heavy rain. Yesterday on EU3, pole time was, if I'm correct, 116.6, I believe. So I have to say that was pretty great time. More drivers are leaving the pit lane. Crypto White, Vabu, and Kevin Kahl decided to join Jel Heldon on track. And Jel Heldon is starting his first hot lap. A little bit of traffic in front of him, but I think he should be fine.
Hopefully, you won't get any of that dirty air.
And he invalidated on turn 2. So next to start a lap, I believe will be his teammate Cryptowite, who is reserving tonight for Red Bull. I mean, Imola is not easy track. It's really exhausting and heavy rain. If I might be honest, I'm happy that I'm not driving right now on track.
He has an entire sector of open air, so it's looking good for him.
I mean, while Cryptowite started his lap, heading to first chicane, really clean, a bit wide on the exit of turn 2, but that shouldn't interrupt his lap. Really clean and nice through Villeneuve chicane, 28.1 completing first sector. It obviously will be purple sector 1, as he is first driver who didn't invalidated lap. So that will be our benchmark. He's heading through Aqua Minerale. Finishing sector 2, 59.2. On dry conditions it was about 10 seconds faster.
I wonder
So
if we'll see anybody daring enough to go into the inters.
uh,
I, based on what Maddie saw me, I think he said that it will lighten up towards the end of quali.
for at this point, I can't imagine anyone to jump out on intermediates.
Yes.
28.9. That's our benchmark made by CryptoWhite.
As Jack Hockey is another.
Vabu beating his time by 1 second, 27.8.9 basically. Kevin Carl 28.7, so we're really just ahead of Crypto. Jack Hokey 27 flat. Uh, Next
Oh,
driver.
wreck. Turn one. I believe it was a wreck.
Yes, it could be a contact between Alpine and Mercedes. Yes, Alistar got no front wing. Sadly for him. Meanwhile, Gelt, Heldorn set a new benchmark 26.7. Nikolai is completing his lap 29.9. STLR with 30.8. Zink
The
is.
rain does seem to be easing up. If that's just me, or can you tell that too?
Uh, no, I don't think so. Zink with 28.7 grabs provisional P4. Matthew Robo on sector 2. And I believe at this point he is only one driver on hot lap because Boria and Alistar got incident on turn 1. A little bit of wiggle on exit of Aqua Minerale, completing sector 2, but it's 1 minute 3 seconds, so it won't be an
Jilt
impressive lap.
is in low fuel mode, so he's gonna have to let these drivers past.
Matthew Robo last 2 turns. It won't be a great time made by Mercedes driver. He passed 130, 133.5. Boria in Alpine is, I believe, another driver who started his hot lap. For the Villeneuve chicane, a little bit of traffic in front of him. 27.5 first sector.
Now, I am noticing that on crypto, he came into the pits and it is saying he's on the intermediate. So maybe the track is going to dry up. I don't know if that means anything, but maybe that tells us that it's going to turn into inters in a little bit.
Well, definitely
Same with Jack
now,
Hockey.
definitely now I can confirm that rain is getting lighter. Still plenty of water on track, but it might be drying up quite soon.
Yes, I expect that we're gonna see a dead period here for a little bit, as a lot of these guys are gonna come in and wait for the track to dry up.
A little bit of traffic in front of Alpine driver, but it shouldn't affect his lap. Ferrari was far enough, and Boria getting a pole position provisional with 126.6.
As we have the first inters out on the Ferrari.
Ferrari of Charlie.
Yeah, these tires are definitely not the best tires at this moment because he is slipping and sliding everywhere.
Yeah, I just jump onto him, and first thing I noticed it was massive slide on exit of penultimate corner. But let's see what he will be able to do. I believe delta of first sector will tell us a lot about this lap.
I am not seeing any puddles anymore. I still am, but not very many.
Charlie first sector 28.1, a little bit of wiggle on the hairpin, and I'm pretty sure that he will give up with the slap. But I'm pretty sure I seen Alpha of Sync.
Not quite time
He's
to
he's on
put on these
wets.
inters.
He's on wets, and on first sector he set it up a similar time as Ferrari we were watching a moment ago. Crypto White on inters, improving by over 7 tenths, and it's fastest sector one. So maybe it wasn't that bad decision at all.
Yeah, meh. The track seems full wet still to me. I see some puddles, but I could be wrong.
I think at this point wets and inters might be similar. He's still improving after a quite a bit mistake in Aqua Minerali. He went really wide through this turn, heading to the
As
speed
everyone's
trap.
switching over to those inters. I do wonder if the track's gonna go to dry. I highly doubt it, but it does kind of loom in the back of my
And
thought.
Crypto White lost a lot of time in last sector. I believe he gave up after a mistake on Aqua Minerali.
At least there's the
Charles,
last one on the wets.
I mean,
I,
Mati is saying us on chat that crossover happened. Oh, and another mistake by Charlie, this time at exit of Aqua Minerali. His,
he needs to get off those tires. Those backs are definitely cooked.
yes, I believe so. Uh, Kevin Cowell, let's jump with him. He's going to start a lap really soon, but Mati Rebel also out lap. Nisula, he's just started a hot lap. It's close to the Villeneuve chicane, and I'm pretty sure that he will improve a lot. It's definitely interweather. He improves by 6 tenths, 27 flat on first sector. You wouldn't be able to improve that much. Jack Geltheldron 24.9 on inters, so almost 2 seconds advantage on Alistar. It's definitely interweather.
For sure.
And Nisula invalidated his lap. He's slowing down, letting Mercedes of Mati
Uh,
Robo pass, I believe.
BK, Deathstorm is having issues with his business that he has to attend to.
Jack Hawkeye improving by 1.7 seconds, and he is on provisional second place with 25.3. Cornish Mantis currently on P3 with 26 flat. Uh, is he making double push lap? Because his time on Aqua Minerali looks pretty decent. And on wet or inter conditions, double push lap is definitely doable. But he's losing 4 tenths in second sector. And according to the game, it was purple one. Let's see. And he's jumping to the pit lane. Crypto White on a very slow lap, but it might be a cooldown.
I actually do not know what the race is going to look like with the weather, so I guess we'll be in for quite a
Christopher
surprise.
White jumping to the pit lane. Kevin Cal losing half a second on first sector, so I believe this will be his in lap. Nisula lap invalidated. Vabu. Vabu, who is improving by 1.9 second, and he is going to finish his lap. If he keeps improving like this, that would be time probably below 126, so it might be even P3. Let's see. Crossing the line, and it's 124.6, and it's a new provisional pole. Pretty solid benchmark, I say. STLR, who just started his hot lap, currently on P3. Webu is close in front of him, and Rink, is it? Oh, STLR losing almost close to the 3 seconds in sector 1, so that is definitely not a push one. Kevin Cal improving by 35 hundredths on first sector, second sector 6 over 6 tenths improvement. Purple
Mm,
sector according to the game.
I believe everyone is coming out of the pits except for one person, which is Charlie. And Charlie should be coming out shortly.
Yellow flag in sector 1, it's Nisula. Retired on track, I believe. And Kevin Cal, 125 flat, that gives him provisional P3. Noel Vabu with 23.9, and it was, I'm pretty sure it was double push lap.
Now Kevin Cal is a reserve. He did put it pretty high in pretty high in the wets, so I do wonder if we can maybe see a bit of a surprise with this.
Alistar new provisional pole with 123.945, just 7 milliseconds in front of Vabu. That is really close.
Jolt is definitely preparing for a huge lap here. He's about to go on one.
Let's see what he will be able to do. 30 seconds left of the session, so I believe the last one who will be able to start one more potential push lap will be McLaren of Kevin. Meanwhile, Gerald is improving by almost half a second in sector 1. He needs another half a second to grab this pole. Konzo, 123.882. The gaps between top 3 now are just a little bit. It's really close. Fabu gave up. STLR crossing the line without improvement. His position. Alistar with 123.4.
Jolt
Charlie
is almost clear of 2 seconds just in sector 2. I've
Cornish finishing in sync. Promoted to P2. Cornish Mantis on P5 right now. Gerald heading to the finish line, and it's 122.6. Konza is losing a bit. Kevin won't improve after
Jack
mistake.
Hockey, he
Jack.
slides it up in the P4.
So last 3 drivers on track. Matty Robo crossing the line right now. 124.3, and it's only P9. Kevin Cal won't improve his lap. He made another mistake in Aquamin Rally, and Kenzo will be last, who might change anything, but he's heading to the pit lane. So I believe that's it. That's our grid for the race start. Gelt held on P1, Alistar in P2, Zink and Boria on second row, Jack Hawkey and Konzo. It's third row, Vabu and Cornish Mantus. It's P7 and P8. Machi Robo and Kevin Cal completes the top 10. Crypto White, STLR, Nisula, and Charlie. And I'm a bit surprised about the gap between Charlie and Nisula. Nisula as well didn't get a chance to settle up on intermediates, I believe. Yes, Nisula, as I thought, he was only one who set his fastest lap on the wet tires.
I I am curious. I want to know what is the longest pit lane. I'm if I'm correct on what I'm thinking, it is Qatar, correct?
Uh, I think I could argue between Qatar and Silverstone. I mean, Silverstone might looks like super long because of bigger than usual speed limit.
What's the speed limit at Silverstone?
It's 60 kilometers per hour, so I believe it's 37 miles.
Mm,
So it's like on we got sunny dry for the race. I think that's the good news for the drivers. Yes, Mati confirms all dry race.
dang
BK
it.
BK is suggesting that Abu Dhabi might get the longest pit lane with the tunnel.
That pit lane is quite cool. Uh,
When I'm driving in Abu, I'm always afraid that I will hit the wall while leaving the pit lane.
Austria or Belgium are probably the two hardest ones for me. I never really struggled with Abu Dhabi.
And formation lap is started.
I believe EA, if you want to get a good look at a few of these cars, I know the Mercedes, they made some visual updates to the Mercedes, the Alpine, the
Aston Martin as
Ferrari,
well. Basically,
the McLaren.
almost every team. Let's check out
eh,
tires they are using. Geld is starting on mediums, then P2 and P3 Alistar and Zinc on hards, Boria on P4, Jack Hawkey, Konzo, Vabu and Konish Mantus decided to take mediums for start. Mati Robo and Kevin Cal for hards, and Crypto White, STLR, Nisola and Charlie decided to pick mediums. I just hope. Yes, Ricky,
And
I can agree, but surprisingly, I wasn't struggling yesterday for the grip. I mean, 2 days ago for the grip at this track. So some changes are positive. Ricky just said that they improved the look of the cars, but further worsened the game.
I mean, I'm surprised on how they even made a good like driving. The cars are so fun to drive on this game. They did a great job.
Uh, it's the it depends who would you ask about this. To be fair.
Yeah. I would love to see Jelt kind of be the underdog since
Zink
Australia.
and
I'd love to see him come.
Konzo disqualified for incorrect parking on the grid positions. It looks like no one else. Oh, of course, that ugly pack is showing up. It's 5 lights, and where we go? It looks like great start of Jelt. Boria immediately overtaking Alistar. Zink as well. Boria for the lead for a while, but Chelton attacks back. Yellow flag. It's SLR. Alistar losing another position, and he dropped to P5. Let's check the STLR car. It looks good. It looks like he didn't affect it any damage. And Geld is already all 8 tenths in front of the pack.
Ooh,
Great start for him.
Alfa Romeo teammates are starting to fight.
They
Crypto
are
does have a wing. It's good.
after completing the first lap. Let's
You know,
quickly check the position change after first lap. Uh, Boria and Jack Hawkey promoted by 2 positions. Zink losing 1. Alistar losing 3. Nisula gaining 5 positions. Kevin Cal gaining 1. Charlie in pit lane. STLR gaining 1 position. Cornish Mantis losing 2, same as Cryptowhite on P13. And Mati Robo losing 3 positions. That's the changes on start. We have a bit visual book with timetables right now, because that's quite impossible that after one lap Kevin Carl would be losing 1 minute 20 seconds to P8 and SLR 122 to P10. The gaps aren't that big.
never say never.
After first lap they should be lapped right now, so
um,
Alistar is trying to make a pressure on Alfa Romeo in front of him.
Jack Hockey is really trying to get up on that the bumper of that Alpine. But Jilt has shown incredible pace. He's put like
Konzo, Alistar
four
was
tenths
making
in
a
one lap.
pressure on Alfa Romeo in front of him, and now he's losing position to Williams of Konzo. So Alistar losing another position, and Cryptowhite decided to retire in pit lane, I believe.
Jilt is just doing circles around this field. He has great pace right now.
Yeah, he's over 1.5 seconds in front, so basically no man's land for him. But we I can't say that it will be boring race for him. I seen yesterday's race, and leading pack get huge advantage on guys behind them, and Mati Robov, first victim of track limits, 3 seconds. Continuing my previous speech, leading to get huge advantage on P3 and 4, and suddenly the distance on the finish line was 13 hundredths of the second. So now
As
Boria
Jack Hockey
lost a position to Jack Hawkey, and it looks like
in
no, and so now we have DRS train from Jack Hawkey P2 to potentially Cornish Mantis on P10, but Nisola and Znik are pretty close to lose that DRS, as Nisola did right now.
Jack has some good pace, so he may be able to cut into Jolt's DRS one.
In Sector 3, he's losing a lot of time after chicane. He lost like
Yeah,
4
he
tenths.
ran wide.
And checking Nisola, did he get DRS on Mercedes in front of him? No, it doesn't look like. Boria and Jack Hawkey swapping positions right now. Vabu overtaking Nisola. He get the DRS advantage. Cornish Mantis overtook Kevin Cowell. So there is a bit of battles. Nisola really close to Vabu, and that's the closest bar on the track right now. Oh, Nisola a little bit of wiggle on hairpin, losing traction on the rears. Meanwhile, Alfa Romeo of Nick might lose DRS on his teammate. And Nisola spans out. He lost a lot of positions, now on P12 behind Matthew Robo.
Jack Hockey is closing that gap.
Yeah, and Alpine in front of him doesn't have DRS advantage. The gap is pretty close, so Jack Hawkey shouldn't struggle with over this move. And he did the move, and on the braking zone to turn 1, his advantage was half a second. Alistar and Konzo pretty close to each other. Alistar is in really good position, especially when we mark that Nisola spans again, and it's full cost safety car. It's full cost safety car. In theory, medium runners might jump in for hearts, and they could be able to finish this race on hard compounds if we won't see another safety car.
I don't think they will.
According to informations I get from PW Jones, hearts are able to make 20 to 25 laps, and 3 of these laps will be under safety car. So, in theory, they could finish this race, but it's everything about drive style. Gelt is heading to the pit lane. Alistar as well. So Alistar is first hard runner who decided to swap his
Softs.
compound.
Jill.
Cornish
Jelt.
Manchus.
Gel throws on the sauce.
That's pretty brave strategy of Red Bull
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah.
So now, at least in my opinion, the best situation on track is with Alfa Romeo of ZNYQ, who is highest hard runner on the track. That's I need to see this by my own. That Gelt really picked up. Yes, I see the red stripe. I'll start behind him on mediums.
Very
And
bold strategy.
Cornish on hards.
I do like that Kevin Cal is on the hards because he may be able to go hards to softs. Because you got to remember they have all the softs in the world that they can use.
Yes, that's fair point. Apologies for that.
So Kevin, is in a great spot. Oh, you know what? We never did podium predictions. You
Oh,
want to throw out a
yes,
podium prediction?
yes, indeed. We didn't. I gladly read what chat expecting about podium predictions, and my predictions. I think Gelt pace is outstanding, and he will be fighting really great according to what I seen yesterday. We had 4 safety cars, and the last one moved to the pit lane at lap 16. So we might expect, I think, at least one more safety car. And Gels should be able to make a good use of his softs. So I say it will be Gelt, Jack Hokey, and ZNY.
I uh I think that Jack Hockey and Jilt are going to come together at the very end because I feel like these guys are going to pit at very similar times. And you know, the more that I see uh, the the more I see Jilt's strategy, because he's gonna make his way up through the field, and he's gonna catch up to Jack, and he will pit around the same time as him, and
Crypto
he
White,
can use the mediums.
apologies for interrupting. Crypto White just left the session, but he DNF'd it anyway.
But
So
yeah, I very
Gelt and
much like
Jack,
Jilt.
safety car in this lap, and who will complete the
I
podium?
Jack Hockey P1, Jilt P2, and I think Kevin Kyle P3.
Kevin had a great race yesterday. He messed up his strategy a bit. He decided to stay long on hard, and he was just a sitting duck at the end. But still, pretty good race for tonight's McLaren driver. And Jack Hawkey,
We're gone early.
yes, very early restart. Poirier lost a bit gap to him. Nisula and Charlie overtaking Cornish Mantis, who decided to jump to the pit lane.
Jilt already takes his first spot.
I'm wondering what happened to
Matty?
Cornish Man. Oh, he retired.
Oh, both the Ferraris are around.
I
Whoa.
don't see any visible damage onto those guys. And Gelt is already on P5. Kevin Cal losing position to Alistar because of minor mistake. He went a bit too wide. And Gelt already gained 3 spots.
Yeah.
Nisila overtaking Matthew Robbo. ZNYQ really close to Alpine in front of him. Will he be able to make the attack? Nope.
He is no longer using ERS, so I don't think he will
Yes,
try
but
it this
he's still
corner.
closing the gap, and he's making attempt side by side to turn one, and it is moved down. No, Poria strikes back, and Alfa Romeo fighting back
1-2.
again, and Charlie decided to retire in pit lane. Alistar overtaking Williams of Konzo. And Gelt is only 2 tenths behind Alpine on P3. He is know what he's doing on the soft tires. He's making attempt for move.
Very, very difficult to overtake here, and he backs out.
Yes, he backs out, but it's difficult, but it's not impossible. And he's making another one attempt. This time heavier braking zone, but he completed the move before even the braking zone. It looks so easy by him. And Nisula with 3-second time penalty for track limits. Apologies for that awkward sound. Alistar overtaking Boria and Geld taking P2.
Jilt is blowing past these guys.
And Alfa Romeo of ZNYQ taking a 3-second time penalty. That will be game changer for him.
I mean, it's if you go on board with Jilt for a little bit, it's entertaining to just watch him. He
He
looks very fast. He's hitting every corner just right. It's very satisfying.
he is flying. He's already over 1 second in front of Alfa Romeo, and to Jack Hawkey at this point of previous lap he was losing something about 2.3 seconds. Now he's only half a second behind him.
I mean, me and you both were a little bit, at least me, a little bit in doubt of that strategy call. But now it's looking like he made a amazing strategy call.
Like he was on safety car restart on P8, and within 2 laps he was able to grab the P2. Alistar is overtaking Alfa Romeo. Clean move, job done, and uh, most interesting battle, I believe, battle for the lead. Jack Hawkey is able to defend. About furious Red Bull behind him, trying to go to the inside on the hairpin, and it looks like job is done. They are still side by side. A little bit of touch, still side by side, and Gelt gets the P1. Boria with 3 seconds time penalty. I didn't
Jack
notice.
will have DRS, so if he can keep it relatively close to him, could struggles through the penultimate chicane.
Yes, but the gap is about half a second, so it's doable to overtake with DRS with this gap. But he needs to be aware about Alistar behind him, who is closing the gap slowly. It's led by
With
3
the ERS
tenths.
advantage.
Oh, Jack Hawkey is blinking. He has no battery.
He has, I believe, 5 to 10% based on what I'm seeing.
Alistar trying, showing him up on the inside, but he just pulled out. But look how many times lost Z and Y. He's losing over 2 seconds to Alistar on P3 right now. And Nisola is attempting to attack on him. I
Oh,
don't... Alistar overtaking Jack Hawkey.
Jack Cockey seemed to just let him by.
I think, okay, I have no ERS, pointless to defend him. It's better to try to stick with DRS and attack, but he lost DRS as well.
Yeah, very. Maybe he's trying to get into a DRS train with his teammates.
Maybe because his teammate is on really huge threat on Nisla, who will attempt to make a move, going through the outside, and job done. So now it wasn't be the best idea to try to get DRS on Haas behind him. But he's
Alistar
losing.
has
Oh.
emerged as a bit of a surprise here.
Yes, and look for Nisla, he's only 3 tenths behind Jack Hawkey. Jack Hokey, I think he might have some problem right now. He lost a lot
That
of the gap.
is.
I don't see any
I
visible damage on his car, but... Oh, and Nisola is going wide through the chicane. He managed to
maybe
keep the
damage.
position.
But you know what this means for Jout? If he falls out of those podium positions, this means Jout can make a huge cut to that lead
Yes,
that
but it
Jack Hockey
looks...
has.
And Jack Hokey is heading to the pit lane. So is
We will
Sporia
see if he has
behind him.
damage. He does
Now
have. No, he does not.
he's taking hard compound, but softs of gelt are giving up.
Oh,
Alistar is closing the gap all the time.
yes. And I mean,
I mean, he decided to box under the safety car, so his mediums are on same age as Gelt's softs. So it's at this point definitely a tire advantage for Mercedes driver.
in has Jilts been. Alistar, I want to see if he could potentially take these mediums to the ends. He went hard
No, I
mediums.
really doubt that Alistar will be able to take these mediums to the end. It's more or less 25, 26
I
laps. His tires would be
I
dead.
am I am stuck in race director.
And Alistar
Could you?
is making attempt to move, and he did it. Alistar taking the lead of the race. Kenzo heading to the pit lane. He was on mediums. No damage. Switch for hard compounds as I see. Kevin Cal really close to Matthew Robbo.
Could you, on a straightaway or something, could you send me an invite? Because I'm, for whatever reason,
Yes.
stuck in the race director.
Apologies for that. Invites. Here you are. Invites sent.
Thank you.
So now the closest battle, two closest battles, is for P1 between Alistar and Geld, and for P5 between Kevin Cal and Matthew Robbo. Here we see action a bit sooner because of they are heading to the DRS straight. Geld, DRS wide open. Is his tires good enough to make a move? No, they are not. How about Kevin and Matty? Kevin with DRS wide open. To be fair, I never was a fan of McLaren team, but I'm really huge fan of that papaya orange. Kevin Cal overtaking Matty Robo, not on DRS straight, but between first and second chicane. Nisola on under the tread on Zinc. Meanwhile, Vabu with fastest lap 1:17.3. Matty Robo another 3 second time penalty. That's really unfortunate on him, but now Geld another attempt to take back his lead. He closed DRS for a moment, but it looks like it's job done, and Geld is retaking his lead. Machirobo is promoted to P5 because Kevin decided to jump to the pit lane. No damage on McLaren. He's switching for another medium compounds, and he's leaving the pit lane on position. I believe it will be P11. Yes, indeed. Gelt still under the huge pressure on Alistar. Nisla under the pressure of Alfa Romeo. What's this? They are swapping position. Gelt deciding to jump into the pit lane. Alistar will use DRS. He gets on him on detection zone. Nisla without DRS. Alfa Romeo behind him, I believe, without as well. And now where Gelton will come out from the pit lane.
Could I
He
get another
will
one? I
he will be
apologize.
behind Hoki. It's just behind Hoki. So Hoki make a pretty decent undercut. And most important for Alfa Romeo right now, he got clean air in front of him. He's not fighting with anyone. So he won't be slowed down. Now, when Alistar will decide to switch his current compound, he's boxing right now. So Nisula, he's boxing. ZNYQ is boxing as well. So Mati Robo for provisional lead of the race on pretty old hard compound. And yes, indeed, Gelt already gained almost 1 second from Jack Hockey's advantage on him. Jack Hockey promoted to P2, Gelt to P3 after leading pack boxed. And Alistar is really close behind Alpine of Boria, and he's overtaking him really quick. Just after his pit lane. Yellow flag, and it's STLR. Did he make the mistake by his own, or it was incident? I see a little bit of damage of his end plate. No, no, it was just a shadow. Gelt is already 7 tenths behind Jack Hawkey, and when he left the pit lane, he was almost 2.5 seconds behind him. And the bad news for Jack Hawkey is that he is not closing the gap that fast to Mati Robo in front of him. Mati heading to the pit lane. Will be Gelt able to make a move 1:17.163, fastest lap for Red Bull driver. Jack was too far behind to make a move, but Jack Hawkey is struggling with battery again. Poria chasing Alistar, but still Alistar got advantage on Alpine driver that of no penalties. SCLR heading to the pit lane and retiring from the race. So now guys, calm down and focus on finishing the race. You will all get points. Just don't do stupid things. And Alfa Romeo of ZNYQ and Alistar both getting 3 seconds penalties. And Gelt is retaking the lead again. What a stunning pace by Red Bull driver. Oh, somehow didn't notice that I lost my CO comms. Nisela on soft compound with fastest lap of the race, 1:16.678, half a second faster than Gelt on the lead, and he's overtaking Poria in Alpine. That gives him for now P4, but I believe he will be catching up pretty fast. Mercedes in front of him. The question is, will this soft will stay to the end? Now Jack Hokey is losing almost 2 seconds to Gelt in front of him, and he's really under the pressure from Mercedes of Alistar. And Ali is making a move. Looks like Jack Hokey just let him pass again. And now he will be under the huge pressure from Nisla in Haas. Chelt retakes the fastest lap of the race, 1:16.672, and ZNYQ 1:16.5. And Alfa Romeo overtaking Alpine in front of him. Let's quickly check penalty situation. That might be a game changer really soon. So Alistar on P2 with 3-second time penalty, Nisula on P4, Boria on P6, and Mati Robo. Apologies, Mati Robo got 6 seconds. So P2, P4, and P6 with 3-second time penalty, P5 and P10 with 6 seconds time penalty. So time penalties will be a game changer at this point. Nisula is making a pressure on Jack Hokey, who lost DRS on Alistar. He's making a really good use on those softs. ZNYQ also with DRS at this pack. So now will Alfa Romeo decide to make his team orders? Nisula with really serious pace right now. Alistar is keeping about 2.5 seconds behind Gelt, but he needs to be aware about furious Haas behind him. So now, if I would be in Vabu with 3-second time penalty, if I would be engineer in Alfa Romeo right now, I would say, Jack, let pass your teammate. He got time penalties and he let pass his teammate. He got time penalties, just keep within DRS behind him and you'll be fine. You will get a couple of positions because of time penalties. Nisula will be with DRS on Alistar, but I believe it's too far to make a move right now. Oh yes, indeed, it was 8 tenths when DRS was opened. And I believe safe gap to make a move is about half a second. But Nisula is really quickly closing up, and Alistar is closing up a bit to Jelt Heldon. Heldorn, apologies for pronouncing it wrong. Kevin Kahl overtaking Vabu on back of the field. Vabu is attempting to strike back. Wheel to wheel, and Vabu pulled out. He let Ferrari driver pass. I believe this could be forcing another driver to off track and gaining a position. He decided to take position back. Now another episode of battle between Alistar and Nisula is starting right now. 7 tenths. DRS wide open for Haas, and I think it's still a bit too far. It's closing up so quickly, and it's moved down. So move down, well down for Haas driver, but will his tires won't give up at the end of the race. Kevin Cal overtaking Vabu once again. This really close battle for P8. It's three drivers DRS train. Meanwhile, P2 gained another 3 tenths to Gelt on front. That's what I mentioned on the start of the race. We can't watch the stunning pace at the race start because race is quite long. It's 32 laps, not just 3 laps. And you need to be aware of threats around you. Kevin Cal leading the pack that is battling for P8. But Kevin is struggling with battery, and drivers behind him are not struggling with battery. Let's jump in again here. Alistar is attacking Nisula and taking back his P2, but Alistar is, as we can see, of blinking red light, struggling with battery. Nisula really close. I was pretty sure that he will try to attack on braking zone 2 Villeneuve chicane, but I think he calculated it's wrong, and Nisula crashed. Nisula crashed, and it's full cost safety car. Haas driver lost the traction out of the chicane, and surprisingly, after huge impact, he is still able to drive. He lost front wing, but he is able to continue this race. So now, late safety car. And that's a huge game changer. That for sure will be a huge game changer for Alistar, for ZNYQ, for Nisula, Boria, and possibly for Mati and Vabu, because those are drivers with time penalties. To be fair, BK, I have no idea how he is able to drive after this. Apologies for that. I had to lower my microphone sound a bit. Nisla taking fresh softs. Everyone to the pit except of Alpine of Boria. He decided to stay on pretty old, I believe, hard compound. He decided to take a track position, and it's 13 lap old hard tires. He will be sitting back, especially with stunning pace of Gelt. Alistar also showed a really good pace, so it won't be easy to defend this leading for Alpine driver. Let's quickly check the time penalty situation. So Boria with 3 seconds, Alistar as well, ZNYQ on 4th with 6-second time penalties, Nisula on P7 with 3, Mati Robo on P9 with 6 seconds penalty, and Vabu on P10 with 3 seconds penalty. So penalties will play a game at the end of this race. I believe safety car should be in after next lap, so we will have 3 laps of racing, 3 lap sprint to the end. Alpine of Borea will do everything to defend against furious today Red Bull of Gelt, that he is driving almost with chirurgic precision, and obviously I won't wish Alpine driver bad things, but I'm afraid it will be impossible to defend against fresh soft compounds of Gelt, Ali, Zinc, Jack Hockey on fresh mediums, Konzo, Nisula, Kevin, Mati, and Vabu on fresh softs. Jack Hockey, not sure why he decided to box for mediums, but as I mentioned a few moments ago, time penalties will play a huge role in this race. No one liked this, but that's the reality. Waiting for Mati and Vabu to catch up to the rest of the field. So we might see one more lap under the safety car. Let's see. Yes, we will get one more lap under the safety car. Mati and Vabu were to... Oh no! It's late safety car call, but safety car is in this lap. Now, when Boria will decide to pull out, he can't do this too early because of late call of safety car, and safety car is really close. I believe now game is blocking him to pull out. He pulled out quite late. Alistar is pulling the pressure on Child, swapping the position between alphas. It's really close, almost freeway battle. Check how get a little bit of contact with Alistar. His car wiggled a bit. And now alphas side by side. ZNYQ retaking spot on P4. Kevin Cal overtaking Konzo for P7. Machi Robo overtaking re-overtaking Vabu. Kevin still battling with Konzo side by side. And Williams took the position back. Boreal lost 2 positions already. Gelt and Alistar managed to overtake Alpine. And Alistar is pushing like crazy. He's doing everything he got. ZNYQ attempting to overtake Alpine, and job really well done. He moved to the inside on the heavy braking zone. Now Jack Hockey will try to overtake Alpine in front of him. Not sure why I wanted to say Williams. It's freeway battle and Alphas crashed each other. And Nisula was also collected by these two from heaven to hell for Alfa Romeo. That was really unfortunate, and ZNYQ still didn't manage to get back onto the track. His rears are spoiled, I believe. Boria is losing almost 3 seconds to leading 2 within 1 lap. Vabu grabbing another 3-second time penalty. And really close between Gelt and Alistar. This will be fascinating battle till the end. Konza is pulling the pressure on Boria. DRS enabled, but no one will be able to use it. Alistar was too far back. Konzo is taking P3 from Boria. Mati Robo overtaking him as well. Kevin Cal and Vabu as well. Oh, he started to struggling. He lost the control. He lost a lot of the gap. Now Mati Robo is attempting to overtake Konzo for P3 on track because he definitely, even if he overtake Williams, he will lose that position because of time penalties. Meanwhile, let's stick with these two. Really close, about 3 tenths all the time. Mati Robo with another time penalty for track limits. That's heartbreaker for him, but we are focusing on this too. And Gelt Heldon is taking a checkered flag, winning the race. Alistar taking P2. Konza is heading to the lane for P3. Kevin Cowell promoted to P4 because of penalties of Mati Robo. Vabu P5. Boria P6. Mati Robo dropped to P7. And he finished up P3, P4 on track. Nisola P8. Jack Hockey without front wing on P9, and ZNYQ taking the last point with another 3 second time penalty. Uh, don't be that rough for yourself, Mati. Nisola is picked as driver of the day by the game. I think I can agree with that, but definitely we have to honor Dutch Red Bull driver who showed up stunning pace and took the P1. So Gel Helton and Alistar, they both stayed at position they were starting from. Konzo completing the podium, Kevin Kyle on P4, Fabu P5, Boria P6, Matt Robo on P7, Nisola P8, Jack Hockey P9, and ZNYQ on P10. STLR, Charlie, Cornish Mantis, and Crypto White, they are all DNF'd, and ZNYQ took 2 points because also he gets a fastest lap of the race. Let's check out, will this boys be interested with interviews? Just give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. It's Joe. Struggling a bit with technique. Apologies, it takes that long. Only star, and the third one was Konzo. Sadly, I'm not prepared for tonight and didn't pick up any music, but here it is, Konzo. Congratulations, great podium, great fight to the end. Tell us about your perspective of this race. Kanzo?
Hello.
Okay, so Ali,
Yeah.
great race, great battle for
Cheers.
P1 till the end. Congratulations of taking second spots on the podium. Uh,
Cheers.
Race was really intense. A bit unfortunate time penalty for you. That's basically deleted your chance for winning the race. But tell us about your feelings about this one.
Played around on lap one a bit, so I dropped from like P2 down to P5, and then mainly I was just at the front with Joe. Had a pretty good battle with him, but then I picked up a penalty, 'cause kept just going off the track. It was a bit silly, really. Um, but yeah, at the end, I was like weaving to let them know I wasn't trying to battle him. I just wanted to pull away from the rest, get a 3 second gap, and then just get P2, which worked. But yeah, it was a pretty good race. Nothing
Yeah, I
race.
mean, you were a bit lucky at the end because Alpine of Boria held up a pack behind you because that free time, you had 3 second time penalty. It could be a really huge game changer for you after the late safety car restart.
Yeah, I was bricking it, to be honest, when the late safety car came up. But I just went to new tyres and just prayed that everyone would battle behind me, which worked out.
Yes, and disastrous end of race for three guys that could be a threat for you, especially when we speaking about Jack Hokey. They crashed each other with his teammate just before the race, and I believe it was first lap after the safety car restart, and that gives you freeway for taking that P2. So thank you for great show tonight. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching this a lot. Similar to yesterday. Today was just a bit harder because I was half of the race alone. Once again, congratulations of taking P2. Really great battle. Really well deserved podium for you.
Thanks, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, Konzo is sadly not responding. He is muted, and Gelt didn't decide to jump in. So thank you all for tonight. I will speak to you tomorrow on EU1 race. Have a great evening and good night.